very interested in film and art, and I'm particularly interested in art that lasts, that has had an impact on the culture. And Midnight Cowboy is one of those rare films that lives on and on and on. You have people following it for years. When you talk to people about this film, they remember where they were when they saw it. They remember what they were wearing when they saw it. You know, it was a touchstone for so many people. And I thought, well, why? Why does a film like Midnight Cowboy have that impact? I was moved also by reading Glenn Frankel's book, Shooting Midnight Cowboy, because he also was interested in the culture that surrounded Midnight Cowboy. And I thought that would make a really interesting story. What made Midnight Cowboy almost inevitable? Why is it that when you look at this movie and you realize the people who were involved and the culture that it came out of, you feel like it was inevitable for this film to have been made? That I can remember, that it was radical, that it was different, that it was something that I had never seen before on the screen. Now, I didn't see it when it first opened, but years later when I saw it, it still felt very special, very, very unusual, you know, the way it was shot. It was not just the story, but it was also the way it was shot. It was shot by John Schlesinger and Adam Hollander in a very documentary style. John Schlesinger was a documentary filmmaker before he became a narrative filmmaker. So there was something so real about it. I thought that was really wonderful. I eventually became a documentary photographer. I'm very interested in the way things really look. You know, it holds up. It lasts. You can see it over and over again, and it still holds up. I think that I am more interested now, number one, in the performances. I think that all the actors are superb, but Jon Voight and Dustin Hoffman really give incredible performances. But I'm also interested in the relationship between the two of those characters, Joe Buck and Ratso Rizzo. The fact that they have this tender, very compassionate relationship between each other, that's one of the things that makes the film last. And that's really what interested me this time. It was a lot to balance, wasn't it? I think the fact that he was gay was incredibly important to the story. His characters are not gay, but they're living in a gay culture. And I think it was his way of introducing gay themes on screen. That had not been done before, not in a mainstream movie. Sometimes some of the experimental movies were dealing with that, but a mainstream movie had not introduced this subject matter. So he introduces it subtly, and then eventually moves on to Sunday Bloody Sunday, the movie that followed it. And there he becomes overt, and he deals with the gay theme very overtly. So I think that, you know, he lived in an era where it was dangerous to be a gay man, and he shows that in the film. I think we are living in a difficult time to make movies that deal with sensitive issues. I think there's some wonderful movies that are being made. The independent film world is still very vital. And difficult movies are being made, but we have put over it a kind of, we've established kind of boundaries. I think it will fade soon. I think that was a way of establishing certain boundaries, and I think we'll back up a little bit. And you know, whenever there's change, sometimes you exaggerate it, and then you come back. And I think we will come back eventually. But there are some wonderful independent films being made that are taking on very difficult issues.